And it's the same thing with the way we perceive documentations. You see someone's driver's license, all right? The person looks like a fine girl, or the person looks like a ruffian. You know that old quote when we were younger, don't judge a book by its color. Ladies and gentlemen, your certificate, your ID card, your NIN, your BVN, even your bank balance, any form of documentation would only show an aspect of you, right? Does it really show who you really are? you and I will be together. Yes. But what if my idea, my perception of you is not really the truth? How can I know? On our streets, we see men in uniforms and guns. We identify them as police officers, but their actions don't give us the impression they are there to serve and protect. Oh no. Oh no. So with all of the documentation that we have on this planet, do these documents really identify their bearers? And if they don't, what then does? 08179230002, 08179230007, 08179230003, 08179230007. At Nigeriainfo PH, at Nigeriainfo PH is where you'll find us on Facebook and on X at Nigeriainfo PH.
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeria Info FM. Nigeria Info, let's talk.
With Jude on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
All right, 93, good morning. Welcome. Hello, Port Harcourt.
Thank you. Jude, good morning.
Good morning, please. Welcome.
Jude, I would like to say that our documentation, our profile, they are entirely and totally different from our character. You know, most times, most people have acquired so many degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them in humanitarian services, but they don't have this human sympathy. They are not empathetic. They are not sympathetic. They are just very hard-hearted. The character of that lady, I must say, is who she is from the start, and maybe probably how she was raised, and probably the kind of women or woman that raised her, or what she saw around her. Or maybe she's merely trying to imitate or copy the no, nobody copies. That is who she is. Honestly, nobody actually changes anybody's character except you want to change. But our character, just like your question goes, our documentation and our profile are entirely two different people from who we are.
So how can I get to know who the woman I buy Mishai or Bole and fish from truly is? When her papers, when her document says her name is Mrs. Okoroko, and she lives at number 5 Street and she has 5 children, she looks like a decent human being. There's no criminal record. So how then do I know?
Jude, that's why they say you don't judge a book by
its cover.
You read the content. Now the guy has known this lady by meeting her, sometimes facially. There are some ladies I see and I say, you look so quiet. There are some students that have come close to. I say, you look so quiet. In fact, facially, you look too innocent. But their actions are totally different from their looks. So meet people and read their content just to know who they are. So you know what they are made of, their content, not just their cover. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Read their content, not just their covers. Yes, indeed. WhatsApp 0809-030-6416, 0809-030-6416. Engineer Micah says, we are those women, no. We are them day. You go pay for everything until you start telling me to pay with a laugh emoji. This one here says, good morning. We have been living, unfortunately, in a time when all those papers are very crucial. What says that the fact that I have a first-class degree or I have a 2-1, like we like to call it here, what says in that certificate that I'm going to be a very good worker? We have been stuck, unfortunately, with this mantra for years. Yes, we are breaking away from it, but still, Jude, go to any big oil company. Would you think they will allow you in if you don't have good certificates? We still need those documentation, but something else needs to take over for us to get into and know the right people to take. Caleb, thank you very much. Isn't that what interviews are for? The documentation, that's your certificate, for example, right? It's meant to get you into the room. What will keep you in the room, however, is going to be the content that you have. Like Muriel said, we need to learn to read, we need to learn to judge a book, not just by its cover, but by the content in the book. I think Mandela made a similar content already. Is it Mandela, the contents of their heart? Was it Mandela or the late Martin Luther King Jr.? I will get that. In fact, now that name has just popped into my head, I think it is only fair for those who probably have never heard of that I Have a Dream speech. Maybe this is the time for you to get to have it, because really, what is in the content? What is it? And we really need documentation. Imagine you traveling along the road, and then the police stop you and say, who are you? If you don't have any documentation, you could be anybody. But the fact that I have that license, does that really mean that I'm a good driver? Does that really mean I'm a good Nigerian? Does that really mean I am a decent human being? All right. IJ here says, good morning. Well, you see, what that man experienced is God's way of telling him to run away from such a person. But we live with this type of scenario every day. Like you rightfully said, we have policemen in uniforms every day on the streets extorting money. That's their identification. Are they truly good policemen? Your guess is as good as mine. IJ. Now, see now, small conversation. They've dragged policemen inside. Stray bullets has now made. It's not. I didn't say anything. No, I didn't say anything. Hello, Potaka returns after this break. lines. I just know, well, I noticed it this week. I've been trying my best to read as many messages as possible. That sometimes when I come to work, I see messages from the previous day on this show that didn't get read, and there are so many, and I've said 1,000 times, well, not 1,000 times, but I think I've said a few times, to all our great listeners out there, that because of the sheer volume of the messages that we get, particularly SMSs and WhatsApp, we will not be able to read all of them, because then we'll not be able to get into the conversations, people who are going to call in, that makes the whole show as vibrant and as active and as organic as it is. Take, for example, this one. It says, please read my SMS. I borrowed airtime just to send it. That's John from Iwafe. John, I am so sorry about that. Please just bear with us. But let me read this message, all right? So, Ju, good morning. It is unfortunate that we are in the time where so many women don't know the place of in the man's world, that someone feels that having money to pay for their bill makes them equal to a man. I have watched videos even abroad where a lady and a man went for a date, but because the woman is well-to-do, then the man, they pass the money under the table to her man to pay the bill instead of doing so. It's because she was properly trained. I believe it's bad upbringing that's the cause. Jay Moore from Port Harcourt. We'll be back after the headline news.
Headline news, Nigeriainfo.
identification, this documentation that we hold so dear, particularly in the 21st century, does it really reflect who or what we are? Is it exactly what we need for me to know what I expect of you? In those days, if someone says, I am a doctor, shows the ID card, this is the doctor, you would expect a certain type of behavior of this person. I am a lawyer, I am a teacher, I am an accountant, I am an engineer. Fine, not everybody's going to be egregious with their errors, or be loud. Not everybody's going to be very vocal. But there was a line of expectation. But these days, does it really help? Now, please just indulge me for a minute. Listen to this fellow. If you've never heard of him before, I'll tell you who he is. Please pay very close attention, please. Please.
A long life, longevity has its place. But I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And He's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
I don't think any of us can be.
You see, that speech, that was like a prophecy. In fact, it was a prophecy. That was Martin Luther King. His eyes, this was during the peak of the civil rights movement in the U.S. When you heard this particular man, or any man of his ilk, because those days preachers were seen to be men of repute, pastors, deacons, you name, you expect a certain level of decorum from this individual. But do these documentations, and that's because if he says, oh, I am Reverend King, how can we identify you, sir? He brings his ID card. And you go, oh, okay, so yeah, he is who he says he is. But these days, does it really help? I agree, don't get me wrong, that Muriel has a point. We don't judge a book by its cover, but by its content. But does it not help to also have a good cover? Some of you don't look like pastors. Some of you don't look like leaders. Some of you don't look like husbands. Some of you don't look like wives. Some of you don't look like decent students. How am I meant to judge you when I see you in a state of disrepair? 017-923-0002, 0817-923-0007.
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeriainfo FM. Nigeriainfo, let's talk.
All right, to WhatsApp now, and I get to read your messages. Once again, trying to capture as many voices and comments on any subject that we do have on this program. Good morning, Jude. The Bible says, by their fruits you shall know them. Most of the times you see people with innocent faces committing heavy crimes you cannot imagine. Unduka from Rukboku. All right, Unduka, thank you very much. This one says it's with time and discernment that one can know who another person truly is. An ID doesn't prove anything. There are undercover agents using documentation that was created for them. That's very true, but are not real. I did not know that an international passport, a birth certificate or death certificate could be faked till I saw it with my own eyes. Even when someone has papers that are truly their own, it doesn't always or automatically mean those people are of a certain character or possess a certain level of intelligence. I have met two graduates, that's what we call second class lower here, that are more intelligent and versatile than a first class graduate. Yet, going by what is on the paper, that shouldn't be so. There are medical doctors that lack integrity, common sense, and empathy, but they have a certificate. They have a certificate. That's very true. That's from Anonymous. They have a certificate. So what really is the obsession with documentation? But on the other hand, how then can we be stationed? How then can we be, if I can use the word, stratified, if we do not have documentation? You want to come through the gates here. Who are you, sir? Where are you from, sir? To what purpose are you here for? All these questions. You can't just come to the gate. Yeah, I'm a Nigerian, so I want to enter here. No, now. No. But then again, how relevant is this documentation? 08179230002, 08179230007. At Nigeriainfo PH, at Nigeriainfo PH is where we will find us, where you will find us on Facebook and on X. At Nigeriainfo PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X. All right, let's get to Facebook right now. WhatsApp is 08090306416, 08090306416. Please, the last number I read out, don't call the number. Just reach out to us via messaging, and I promise I will definitely get to read your message. I'm going to do my very best, all right, today. All right, do personal documents really identify their bearers? We're talking about documentation. Well, Iheanachiku says, yes, absolutely. Iheanachiku, why do you think your answer is in the affirmative? If I come to you, just like the message I read earlier, that people create fake identity. If I come to you with a fake ID of a policeman, would you accept me as a policeman just because I presented that paper to you, or that card to you, that photo, ID to you? You watch movies, you see how people fake all these things to gain access into people's houses, people's business spaces. People do all sorts of things. In fact, in America these days, people are now so aware that they're asking for double checks. Oh, you're a police officer. Can I see your badge and your badge number? And then they are calling. If for example they're in Port Harcourt, right? You say, oh, your name is Jude. Okay, let me see your ID. They're beside the house. Oh, you say you're police. Let me see your ID. Let me see your ID number. They will call the police station and say, please, do you have any officer with this number? His name is Jude. He's 6 foot tall. Did you send him here? Before they let them in. It's that serious now. 90.3, good morning. Hello, Port Harcourt.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, please.
Fine. I'm a married woman.
Okay.
I'm the lady that I've been hearing conversation on air all this while. I've not been talking. I'm a married woman. There's something I and my husband have to do on air. We have to do. So right now, I said, let me let people know that I'm a married woman. There is something we need to do that will come up later.
Okay.
So I have not talked to him. So I don't have the contact.
Okay, can I send you the WhatsApp number that you can send us a message to? Okay.
Sir,
Are you ready?
I'm in the office.
No,
Can I do what?
I want to send you the WhatsApp number. Let me call our WhatsApp number that you can send me a message later on to tell us what it is. Yes. Is that okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I will do that. Please.
Okay. Let me call the number for you.
Okay, the WhatsApp number. Yes, sir.
Okay. 0809 0809
Okay.
030
Okay.
64
62. Okay.
No, 64 64
62. Okay.
No, 64, not 62. 64.
Okay, 64.
Yes.
Okay.
6416.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you, sir. Okay, all right. It's weird though, but hey. 9.3, good morning. Hello, Port Harcourt. Oh, dear. Drop call scenario. All right, Joe here. There's another one from Joseph. I'll read that one later. Joe here says, Joe, good morning. I think we have come to the point in our lives that we need not just identification, but we need to have proof of character. Enough of all these degrees, enough of all this paper documentation. It's the reason why people are now waiting to give people jobs after they spend 3 or 4 months with them. It's their grace period. Nobody wants to hire you just because of your paper, or nobody wants to believe you are good just because your paper says so. We need to see your working. Like we say, show working. Joe. By 2.3. Hello, Potako. Good morning, please.
Hello, Jude. Good morning.
Good morning.
This is Benedict.
Welcome, Benedict.
Jude, you see, that song you played before now, I've explained it all. I might not know the lyrics, but I'm going to remix it by saying, no matter what they say about you, no matter what they write about you or think about you, you see, you can see our politicians, after all the promise before they assume office, when they get there, they change. All I believe is the truth. That truth I see about you. And what truth is this? Your attitude, your character, and the integrity I see about you. And it is never what your profile or certificate writes about you. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Benedict. Interesting. It's not what your certificate or your profile states. It's what I've seen about you. Interestingly, dragging the politicians into the conversation again. Now, this one says, the reason why people get surprised seeing such experiences is that we quickly forget that people go with who they are to wherever they are going to. It's not just with paper identification. Austin from Igruta. All right, Austin, thank you very much. 90.3 Nigeriainfo. Good morning, please.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Tony.
Go on, please.
Calling from London.
All right.
Right. It's really a bad situation indeed. But then, we need to be careful of the persons we come in contact with in order not to fall victim of all those things. It has been a big problem in Nigeria. Our people don't usually let the documentation about themselves to reflect who they are. It's not only Nigerians, that is a human being. That is human being for you. But we need to be careful in order to trade with them. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. We all need to be careful. It says, I don't think he's wrong for that. Don't think he's wrong for that. All right. Let's get back to this. All right. But Jude, remember, this is on WhatsApp, 0809-030-6416, 0809-030-6416. All right, it says, but Jude, remember that Nigeria is just giving documents to our citizens without documentation details. What do I mean is, in serious countries, the lifestyle of everyone is added so that the person's data added to that person's data. But here in Nigeria, it's only when you have offended police or do Yahoo because before someone's details will all of a sudden be revealed to security agents to bring up. And that's why it's very hard to know the full information of someone with his or her ID in this country. J-Mo with that comment. J-Mo, thank you very much. Cookie Grant, I'm seeing your message on Facebook. Could you send me a message, please? All right? Could you send me a message on WhatsApp? All right, 0809 030 6416 0809 030 6416. Once again, Cookie, 0809 030 6416. All right, please send me a message. I would like to know what this story is all about. All right, that's the WhatsApp number for Nigeriainfo. All right, just send us a message, and I would like to read this. John Wall Google says, Jude, using ID card alone is not enough to rely on for one's true identity. Jude, I think we should emphasize on character. We should hire for character and train. Okay, we should hire for character. Okay, and train for competency. John Wall Google, I like that. We should hire for character, then train for competency. I think that makes a lot of sense. I truly do. Hire for character, train for competency. Saga seems very upset with this comment. We're just in a lawless country where nothing seems to be working. Nothing's just working here in Nigeria because of our mentality and doings. From Saga, well, one way to change it is if you start to work and do things properly. The fact that you think everyone else is doing something inappropriate, right? Why don't you take the change? Why don't you accept the challenge, if I can say so, and do something differently? That could work. Because if more people see you, Saga, doing something right or correctly, they're going to go, oh, if Saga can do it, why don't I do it? The next person does it, and next thing, it's called a snowball effect. You should try it sometime. You really should. Trust me. Well, don't trust me. What do I know? What do I know, really? Okay, all right. What a day. Well, we look forward to having you with us on our table tomorrow, Friday, 21st day. Yes. And don't forget, next week is all about the young ones as we get to I Beg to Differ. It's back, people. It's back.
I Beg to Differ Port Hackers Season 4 from 24 February.